What's up guys, it's Rokta here and welcome back to yet another amazing video on the channel. So for today's deck profile, I have something quite special. It's something I've actually engineered myself, been working on the past few weeks, and I think, in my opinion, it is at least a very good rogue deck. It does involve a very meta engine, but the other engine itself is unheard of. I don't hear anybody talking about this engine, and after this video I hope I have convinced you to at least give this engine a try. So before we get into the deck profile, make sure you do like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys would like to see next. I reply to every single one of your comments, and there will be a massive giveaway at the 1000 subscriber mark. Without any further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay guys, let's begin with this amazing deck profile. So we are of course going to be starting off with our dual avatar engine here, and it's simply going to consist of 2 dual avatar fists and 2 dual avatar feet. The reason we're playing 2 is because in this deck, it is very consistent. Searching is very recursive, and you can constantly be searching either for your dual avatar monsters or for your second engine, which I will be showing in a while. This basically just grabs you a spell, and feet will grab you a trap of the dual avatar, of course. The reason we're playing 2 and 2 is because with the field spell, we are playing the field spell at 3 copies, meaning it is essentially 5 versions of feet or fists, depending on your current situation. So that is literally it for the dual avatar monsters. Moving on to the next monsters here, we are of course playing 2 Eldlich the Golden Lord. So it is going to be a dual avatar Eldlich deck profile here. So the 2 Golden Lord is, in my opinion, essential in order to play Eldlich successfully. Having 1 Lord only is very risky. If that Lord gets banished, your engine is essentially switched off. So having a second in deck at all times as a backup is very useful, and having 2 lords in the field with one having an attack boost is a lot of attack, and you can push for game that way. So 2 Eldlich the Golden Lord. And for our last monsters here, it is literally just triple ash. So not a lot of monsters in this deck. We are of course going to be playing a lot of traps, and the monsters are very searchable anyways. So triple ash, just because it's the best hand trap for hitting rogue decks that you will encounter. The meta decks, you'll obviously need more hand traps, but hopefully with your Eldlich engine you'll be able to get more interruptions going that way. So for our spells here, we have triple of the dual avatar field spell. This is perfect sync. What this does is basically just when you activate it, it gets you a dual avatar monster. So it's one of those really good field spells that when you activate it, it gets you a instant +1. Also, if you do control a dual avatar, and this is on the field, you can give yourself a token. That is very useful because when you summon your fists, instead of destroying himself, you can simply just destroy the token that was just provided by your field spell in order to search your spell. And that locks you into only being able to summon fusion monsters. So there's a lot of fusion only restrictions in this deck, which Eldlich, to be honest with you, does not care about at all, which is why I thought it was the perfect supplementary engine to help boost our dual avatars. Because dual avatars on their own, they can provide a lot of interruptions, but I think that they were missing a certain oomph to them. Against meta decks, they just seem to fall behind. So combining them with the Eldlich package, in my opinion, just takes this deck to a whole new level. So for another 3 of here, we have Dual Avatar Invitation. This is a very important card in the deck. This basically just combines both of the Eldlich and Dual Avatar cards together, because what it does is it provides you with tokens in order for you to fusion. But in order to activate this card, you have to discard a card. It doesn't have to be a dual avatar card, it can be any single card in your hand. So basically, the play is you discard one of your Eldlich traps, summon, make your 2 interruptions with your 2 fusion monsters that I'll be showing later on, and then you'll be able to banish that trap and then start your Eldlich engine that way, which is why, in my opinion, I am playing 3 dual avatar Invitation. For another amazing card in the deck, it is, of course, Fusion Deployment. Thanks to Blazing Vortex, we did get access to the second boss monster for dual avatar, and why that is so important with Fusion Deployment is because both boss monsters of dual avatar list feet and fists as their fusion materials, meaning you can basically summon any of your dual avatar monsters from your deck with this card. Of course, it locks you into fusion summoning, but we are going to be locked into that like 3-4 times during our combos, just only fusion monsters, and basically that doesn't really matter. For our consistency piece of the deck here, we are of course playing triple Cursed Eldland. I'm sorry for the 2 properties, I cannot find my other 2 copies of Cursed Eldland, but the deck would realistically play 3 Cursed Elden. This basically just gets you to your Eldlich engine as well. And you're going to be wanting to see this card as often as possible in your hand. That's why you're going to be seeing 3. It's basically just pay 800 and start your Eldlich engine is what this card should say. Be careful though that when you do have this card, only zombie monsters will be able to declare attacks. So if you are going to be going for the OTKs using dual avatars and the Eldlich monsters, you are of course going to have to not have this card in play, because with this card in play, only Eldlich and zombies can attack. For our draw card here, we have Triple Pot of Extravagance. This deck doesn't really care about the extra deck, and you could say you can play Pot of Prosperity, but in my opinion, you just need to generate a +1, because this deck sometimes can struggle resource-wise. Of course, you do have the dual avatar monsters that do return to your hand if your fusion monsters get outed, but in my opinion, the +1 is more valuable than the Prosperity, which just lets you dig for your deck, because you do already play a bunch of spells that let you search regardless. So Triple Pot of Extravagance, because it's basically just Pot of Greed in this deck. For our power spells here, we are playing Triple Forbidden Droplets. This card, I know is expensive, guys, but in a deck like this, it is essential. Because not only do you have Eldlich, which generates so much advantage in the grave after you send them with Forbidden Droplets, you can also, if you have spare tokens laying around, which this deck does produce a lot of tokens, the spell alone produces 5. You can simply just send any number of other cards, so you can send your tokens away to fuel your Forbidden Droplet negates, which is amazing. Obviously, the fusion tokens do leave at the end phase of your turn, but you can do this during your turn, as you know, in case they have any interruptions, or in the case of a trap that we play, Dual Avatar Return, that token is permanent. It just stays with you permanently, so it fuels your droplets. Moving on, for the last spell of the deck, it is simply just 1 Dual Avatar Defeating Evil. I was testing this card at 2, but realistically, if you need this card, you're just going to search it out. It is a very versatile card, don't get me wrong. The ability to just destroy a dual avatar monster and 1 card your opponent controls is amazing. And of course, if you do destroy a fusion dual avatar monster, you get a bonus effect, which in turn makes this card a +1. You can either draw a card or banish a card from your opponent's grave. So you're basically going 2 for 1 there with this card. The only reason I'm playing it at 1, even though it is a quick play spell, is because it's a hard once per turn. And sometimes you just don't want to sack off your dual avatar fusion monsters. But of course, it's a very, very nice tech option that you can run. Moving on to the traps, we're going to start it off with the dual avatar part of the trap. We are going to be playing 1 of each dual avatar trap. This is simply because I wanted to keep my options open. If you need any of these traps, you are just going to be searching them basically. Dual Avatar Compact just becomes any card, dual avatar card that you need by just, it copies its effect by banishing from the grave. So this card alone basically is an extra copy of everything going around. Return is basically if you want to proc your dual avatar effects, like for example, feats is all normal or special. So when you basically Monster Reborn him, he does trigger and it gives you a token. You can also bring back your fusion monsters, which of course, they do trigger as well. One of them does on special summon, and basically he pops a monster in attack position. And Ascendance, in my opinion, is a amazing addition from Blazing Vortex. This card basically allows you to rank up or rank down your dual avatar monsters. It can be from the main deck or from the extra deck, so you can target one of your fusion monsters, rank it up into a different one from the extra deck, or rank it down into something from the main deck, and of course get its effects. And if that wasn't crazy enough, during your turn, it simply banishes itself and adds you a dual avatar monster from your grave back to your hand. So basically, it just gets your entire engine going again. For the Eldlich part of the traps, we are of course going to be playing triple Scarlet Sanguine, triple Conquistador, and triple Hakero. Now, the reason I've maxed out on all of them is because you are going to be wanting to discard one of these cards with your fusion spell. And it is very important you do get your Eldlich part of the deck going, because if you fail to get your Eldlich part of the deck going, you're essentially just playing a dual avatar deck. So I've maxed out on every single one, and you do see these cards very, very consistently. We all know what Eldlich does. These cards are insane because they just constantly recycle into your Sanguine, and your Sanguine recycles into each of these. This is a DD Crow if you control the Lord, and this is a pop if you control the Golden Lord. So that is the main deck, guys. It is 40 cards. It is hyper consistent. I do recommend you guys try this deck out. It is a lot of fun, and we're going to be going now straight into the extra deck. Okay, guys, so this is the extra deck. We basically kept it very plain and simple. We got 2 Hippo Shinigami. The reason we're playing 2 Hippo Shinigami is because all of the monsters you're going to be summoning are light, so he is very useful in the fact that he can get rid of your extra Eldlich traps that you have laying around, send them to the grave, and then you can banish them and keep your engine going. He's very nice. He also gives them all an attack boost, and when he's outed, you can add one of your dual avatar guys back to your hand. For another 2 of, I am playing alongside Hippo Shinigami. It is Link Spider. He serves the same purpose, essentially. Just turns one of your traps into a monster, sends it to the grave, and then that allows you to banish your trap during the end phase to recycle itself. And I'm playing 2 of each because you want at least one to survive off the extravagance. For the fusions, I am playing 2 Empowered Kongyu and 2 Mitsu Jaku. These are your boss monsters, essentially. He is very, very nice from Blazing Vortex. Basically, he is your Dragoon out. If you bait the Dragoon negate, when he attacks, after he finishes the attack declaration and goes through the damage step, he can basically just return 1 card from the field back to the hand. So that is crazy because it doesn't target, it's your Dragoon out. And obviously, when a spell and trap that your opponent controls activates it and targets this, for example, you have these 2 in the field and they try and crack down this guy, you can simply just negate that. And why Mitsu Jaku is so good, apart from reading that it has feat as fusion material, allowing your fusion deployment to finally be able to special feat out the deck, is that when a monster effect is activated, you can chain him and it just simply destroys it. And during your turn, he is basically just a giant true nade that only affects your opponent. It returns all set spell and traps your opponent controls to the hand. And then obviously, once per turn, if you destroy the battle, he isn't, because it's just insane. These guys are really, really good with Eldlich. For the little guys, we are playing triple of Armored Aigyu and triple of Armored Ungyu. Sorry if I butcher the names, guys, but you are essentially going to be playing 3 of each. These are the most important monsters in your extra deck. He pops a monster on summon, and he negates a extra deck monster. Of course, if you do control a monster that was fusion summon using material, it doesn't have to be him. You can have these 2 on the field, and he will still get his effects because you do control a monster that was summoned using a effect monster as material. And what's so good about these guys is that they're 1 level apart. So with your trap, you can get this guy after you negate something and turn him into this guy, and then he will pop something. Of course, he can't attack directly the turn you do that, but it doesn't matter. And he also gives a attack boost as well. So very nice. And for the last monster in the extra deck here, guys, we are playing 1 Constellar Pallades. All of the Eldlich continuous traps that we are playing are level 5 and they are light, so it allows us to play the 1 Constellar Pallades. I thought this was a nice tech card to put in the extra deck. Just basically allows us to compulse something during either player's turn as a quick effect. Just compulse something back to the hand by detaching the material. So that's why I thought he was very, very nice. So that is the end of the deck profile, guys. I hope you guys did enjoy. I know this deck is not very budget friendly, but there are, trust me, budget ways of playing the deck. For example, you don't have to play your Extravagance or Prosperities. Of course, the deck is better if you do, but this can simply be a Terraforming, a Rota, and a Called by the Grave. You don't have to play 3 of your Cursed Eldlands. You can simply just supplement it with other dual avatar cards. And of course, you don't have to play the Forbidden Droplets. You can play Forbidden Chalice, you can play Imperm, anything that's in your budget, guys. This deck is very, very flexible. And I hope you guys did enjoy this deck profile. If you guys did, let me know in the comments down below. I'll be hoping to make more videos like this of decks that I've created and that I've been testing out. And I hope to catch you all in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.